Have you ever wondered what it's like to drive your living room on the road? Or better yet, have you ever wondered what it's like to have a lounge on the road? Not just any kind of lounge though, but a VIP lounge? Look no further, because today I got the 2025 Cadillac Escalade, and this is the Platinum trim. So this example is going to be painted in the color called Latte Metallic, and it's pretty obvious why it's called that. And the Platinum version, I know some of the guys that I already showed the vehicle to, they said they didn't like the chrome grille. You can get that fixed. You can get the Sport Platinum trim if you want to. It'll black out the grille. It's a little bit more athletic looking. But for a majority of the buyers, this is going to be the one that they want. So the price for this one, as tested, is going to be about $124,515. There's only a couple options on here, and one of those being the paint color. So the Escalade has grown since its inception about 25 years ago, and this is a fresh redesign for the 2025 model year. A couple other flavors of the Escalade. We're going to have the ESV, and that's the extended version of this. Going to cost a little bit more. We have the Escalade V, which is the all-out sporty version, which is going to offer a 6.2 liter supercharged version of what we have in here. And what we have in here is a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. It's going to have 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's going to be all-wheel drive as well. The newest flavor of the Escalade, no pun intended with this latte metallic color, but we have the Escalade IQ, and that's going to be a full-on electrified version of this, in which I did a review on. Go check it out. So that one's going to get about 420 estimated miles per charge for a fully charged vehicle, that is. But with this gas powered version, it's going to average 14 in the city, 18 on the highway. I've been averaging a combined 15 miles per gallon. Look how high this can sit off the ground. So this is going to be your off-road mode if that's what you want to do. So you got to put the car in four-wheel drive low, and then you can raise the car as high as it will go. But normally once you exit the car, it'll go to its lowest setting for the entry and exit level. So this Escalade is going to have one of the sweetest suspensions that you can buy on the market. It's going to have an air ride, and it's going to have magnetic ride control. So with the air suspension, you can raise and lower the height of it, in which is in its highest setting right now. And then with the magnetic ride control, it's going to monitor and look at the road like 1,000 times per second, if not more. By this iteration, they're on version 4.0 of magnetic ride control. So any imperfections it's going to see in the road, the suspension is going to adjust itself, so you don't have to deal with the rattles or the imperfections in the roads. You see these craters in this parking lot. You guys know what I deal with on my moon crater simulation over there, which they're repairing already. But this is going to make it ride like a dream. And should you leave your Escalade in its highest setting, it's not going to be a problem, because the running boards are power, and they're going to come out for you, so you can step on up in here. And did I mention the doors are power closing? You'll hear people saying that, oh, the famous people always get the Escalades, like rappers and athletes. But I can honestly see why they go for these, because they're used to those VIP sections. And like I said earlier, this is one of those on wheels. So allow me to show you the back and work my way on up to the front. So you can get in the rear a couple different ways. There's an option where you can just stand back here, and if it senses the key in your pocket, it'll open. This giant emblem, which is bigger than my hand, you can just press that, and the Escalade will open up to get access behind the third row. If you want more space than this, the ESV is your friend. You can see we have a subwoofer on that side. And we do have power folding seats for back here. Folds the headrest, and the seats fold flat. I said it fold flat. We do have an outlet back here, but let's crawl on up to the third row. Let's fold those back up. And if you want to get the second row, there's buttons for that as well. And that's not it. This one is. The second row is also going to have power opening doors. Push the tab. That will roll out, open up for you. You do the rest of the work. These seats, I showed you they fold down, but unfortunately they do not fold up, at least from a power standpoint. But you can just lift this seat back up. Hopefully I didn't crush my backpack that was sitting there. Adjust this headrest, and we can slide the seat. This is going to be not power, So let me take both hands, push this back so we can get access in there. They do have an option, at least I know from the Escalade IQ, where you can get a second row that's going to be, it's basically no access to walk through in the middle. It's an entertainment package in there, but this one doesn't have that. That's like $7,000 extra, but you can option that on the Escalade. Let us enter now that we got a pathway up in here. To close the door, we can just lift that lever and it'll close for us. Going to the third row, I can almost stand up and walk back here. Not quite, but in the rear, I got about 4 inches of headspace above me. And the quilted seats back here are still soft. It's not as comfortable as the driver's seat, but it is still a place where you wouldn't mind being. And then we still have space in front of us. Me being 6 feet tall, I can sit behind myself, and this is pushed back, mind you. I just pushed it back so I can slide up in here. So you could sit behind yourself. You do got a cup holder, USB-C, just one of them over there. And there's another button over here. If you want to fold the front seat forward, man, do not have a passenger in the seat when that happens. It's a ton of room up in here. Even if you remove the second row, it's going to be super spacious. You can just lay down from the second row. We do have Alcantara on the ceiling, panoramic sunroof, and oh, look, a couple screens. Let's move to the second row and check those out. Well, the second row, we're going to have these screens behind us, and we can watch videos, and it comes with these sets of AKG headphones, Cadillac branded as well. So we get 2 of those, one for the passenger behind the driver and one for the passenger behind the passenger. We are going to have some apps being preloaded, one of those being YouTube, my favorite. Well, we got the Escalade V review and the Escalade IQ review. So if you want to check those out, go on to my channel. But this car is going to have its own data connection, so you can watch any of these videos, and it loads up pretty quickly. Got 5G LTE. And you can pair the headphones. It gives you the prompt to do so if you want to. You can skip the ad. Don't do that for me, but for the sake of this video, yeah, actually I skip all the ads. So we can take a look at one of these touchscreen. You can look at me in the POV driving the Escalade IQ, or the V if you want to see that one. We do have a few more apps. The children loved it back here. My daughters just love being back here, and they ain't even sit in the front, in which we have another screen. Spoiler alert, I'll get to that one in just a moment here. And you can also check out the vehicle status from back here. We're not going anywhere. Ooh, need some gas. Driven almost 300 miles so far. We do have our climate control settings back here. I have it locked. Be noted by this lock up in here. But we also do have heated seats in the second row. We're going to have 4 USB connectors, 2 USB-A, 2 USB-Cs, and we're going to have a cool cup holder right there, as well as storage in the door. We're going to have these AKG speakers all around this vehicle, so this sound system, I'll talk about that later on. These seats in the second row are going to be more comfy than those in the third row. These are plush. All the touch points are plush. This armrest over here feels a little bit, I'm not going to say flimsy, but it doesn't lock in place. It just kind of goes where it goes, but it does have a lot of squish to it. I'm getting up out of here, lift my handle, going up to the front. This front door, notice a little Easter egg. We have a Cadillac badge down there, so if you were to lock the door, you would place it on that Cadillac emblem. But let's climb on in, greeted by these side steps once again. Now the interior up in here is going to have a lot of different materials. So what I mean, look at this door over here. We have our leather wrapped up here. We have wood down here. We have this aluminum looking piece, more white leather. We have black plastic down there. We have piano black. We have this denim looking material. It's kind of too many different materials. We do have speakers in this headrest. Nice, comfortable seats, which are highly customizable, heated, ventilated, massaging. We do have 3 memory seat settings and just a plethora of ways that we can adjust these seats. Let me hop in and show you, because there's a lot to talk about in here. So when you hop in, put your foot on the brake pedal, that also closes the door. So we got a few different ways to close the doors. So another way is going to be in this control center down here. Press this button, control our doors. We can open and close any of the doors in here, and lock and unlock, and even the glove box right there. So those of you like physical buttons, you're not going to like the Escalade unless you just like volume knobs and this commander controller right there, which you can press it in to select what's on the menu, which comes in handy because this is kind of far away from the user. You might have to lean forward or adjust your seat closer to the infotainment screen. 55 inches diagonally from side to side. And you see it over there, it says Escalade. That's going to be illuminated until you start driving. So this, just like the back seat, we're going to have apps inside of there. So you can go to YouTube, go to your favorite YouTuber. Once again, my kids is going to have their favorite show up. So you can see it from here right now, but once I put it in drive, it's going to black out. And you can see it, but you would have to be directly in front of it. And it's only going to be detected if a passenger is there. So unfortunately, my backpack isn't heavy enough. Shout out to my V-hat provided by the Topher. So that's to keep the driver from watching TV while they're driving, because it's easy to see what's over there, but it does some kind of polarization, I'm assuming, to where it just blacks it out like a privacy screen. Let me close this sunroof to eliminate some of this glare that we have on the screen in front of us. So this is going to be where all the controls are. This screen down here and the main infotainment screen up there. So it's a bunch of different menus. We got our seat menu, and then we have our HVAC controls. What is this? Climate controls, I guess. Our controls for our lights, our headlights, are going to be up in here as well. So that's different. Not sure how I feel about that. We have a couple toggle switches down there, like our lane keep assist, and we can activate our 360 camera, which is going to be on the screen above us, which is going to have multiple functions. Up in this screen, we have a drop down to where you can go to some quick actions. If I want to drop the glove box, that's right there. Head up display, that's going to be the functions in there where you can adjust the brightness and the height. We have auto park assist. We have, like I said, our doors. That's how you get to the door options. I mainly just leave it on the climate though for myself. The infotainment screen. Now this is going to have where our traditional, if you've seen any GM vehicle, is going to have our settings where you can customize all these vehicle settings, driver customization modes. We're going to have like our easy access to door locks. If you had a teenager, you want to restrict them from driving over a certain speed limit, all that's in here. Super Cruise, lane change assist, buckle in to drive. It's a bunch of these, and I used to work on systems like these, or exactly this, and it's so many features that these vehicles have, especially the Escalade. It's going to have all of what you can have, and it even has the trailering app as well too. Just to have a trailer, you can set up your own trailer. It could take me so long to go through that, and I don't have a trailer, so I'm going to save you all that time. Our vehicle status. I normally check the odometer, which is over here, but there's no button for that on the cluster portion of this 55-inch screen. So we're going to have to go to vehicle status, and like I just showed you all in the back seat, we're going to see that same screen with our fuel economy and our trip distance. We also have our gauges screen to where we can check our PSI, the battery voltage, and temperatures. This wireless charger, it is the best that I've used in any vehicle. My phone doesn't turn into hot lava after I have it sitting on here for 20 minutes. And it actually charges my phone enough on my short distances. So you don't have to have a plug in here. And they do have a package where you can get 2 of these, at least on the Escalade IQ. The center armrest, very cushy, says Escalade on it. Once I open it up, this is an optional refrigerator / freezer, and I've only turned it on since I started doing this review, and this is cold. It's 80 degrees outside, but you can see we have this as being very cold up in here. So that's not from being hot, that's from being cold. Feels good. I'm about to enjoy drinking that in just a moment. You turn that on with this switch right here. It has 2 different stages to it. Stage 1, refrigerator. Stage 2, freezer. USB-A, USB-C. Felt line, soft touch. You have storage right here. Storage galore up in here. To the left of our steering wheel, we're going to have our 2-wheel drive high, 4-wheel drive high, and 4-wheel drive low. That's how I was able to set the air suspension. And these 2 buttons, this lowers the air suspension, raises the air suspension. If you want to do different drive modes between touring, sport, off-road mode, that's what this mode button does. This auto button is going to automatically configure your drive mode settings between 2 and 4, high and low. Got our park brake and trailer and stuff over there. Steering wheel controls, these are a bit different. They're not actual buttons. They just kind of feel flat. They do like have little markers on them to where you can identify that there's a button. But I find myself looking, because I got to get familiar with this vehicle, when I press these buttons. As below, So above, we're going to have a few apps on this infotainment screen as well. One thing I noticed about this Escalade, and somebody pointed it out in case I'm missing something, but I haven't seen a rain sensing wiper feature. Maybe they chose to forego it because they kind of suck in most vehicles anyway. But I'm not a huge fan of the wiper controllers, which is this switch where you have to flick it behind. It's a dial where you rotate that. And our rear view mirror is digital. Now we're done with the lounging area, so let's turn this into like your personal private Coachella vehicle and get this show on the road. This is a true luxurious experience. It is not, famous people aren't buying these for no reason. This is a lounging vehicle, and it's great to drive. Watch me show you. Let's spin a few blocks in the 2025 Escalade. Buckle up as always. Turn my massaging seat on. We're going to start this off in comfort mode, or tour mode as they call it. But let me show y'all a couple things. When you turn off the Escalade, it's going to let you know that your phone is in the charger, which is a great thing to do. And normally after you come from a drive, it'll prompt you to open your doors. So it'll be at this screen. You can open a door, like if I want to open the rear door, if I want to close that door, swipe it. Sometimes it can get laggy, but for the most part, it works all right. When you're inside the car, put your foot on the brake to close the door. Start it on up. So let's get to driving. And then once you put it in park, it's going to lower the suspension. It does have air suspension on here as well. And magnetic ride control. So it's going to have the best of both worlds when it comes to driving pleasure. So to put it in drive, move the stalk on the right, pull it back to you, move it down. Reverse is the same thing, but up, surround camera. You can get all these different angles. We do have trailering apps on here, so if you do want a trailer, it'll make it easy for the curb. So many options on this Escalade. This is going to put everything Cadillac has to the test, which is why it's a world-class opulent vehicle, leader in its class. I see why they sell a ton of these. Shocking that they sell more of these than the CT4s and CT5s. Not own a CT4. Shout out to me. But getting it on the road, let's see what mode. Did it revert back to something different? Nope, it was in tour mode. Got our auto stop start. If you want to defeat that, press that button right there. But I'll keep it on so we can let you know how it works. I didn't notice it to be too intrusive. Also, if you haven't already, check out the quick review that I did on the Escalade IQ, the electric version of this. Very similar, but the heart of the beast. We go from a 6.2 liter V8 to an EV, battery powered. About the same. Actually, that one might beat this in range when it comes to fuel. How many miles have I had on my tank so far? I'm gonna have to dig through some menus because the trip meter isn't just readily accessible. Oops, things flying around in the back. Vehicle status, trip. So 259 miles, 14.1 miles per gallon. And we still got 89 miles to empty. So they'll be very similar, very, very similar. And sometimes cars with Super Cruise, it'll pick up on some red LEDs around this area. That's something I'm not seeing in real life. So it's not a high revving V8. Revs up to about 5,900 RPM. So it's not going to be exciting to rev out. So what we're about to come now is into some turbulence. I lied, we're about to come to a red light and then comes the turbulence. So we're going to test out this suspension. How's the road noise so far? It blocks out a lot. It's a little breezy out there today. These windows go down pretty slow. Gotta hold it for a second. Get that thing to move. And I haven't noticed a lot of vehicles that have windows that roll down this low, but the Genesis GV70 and this Escalade is pretty slow. Let me let the panoramic roof open, make it brighter up in here. And I'll normally tilt this sunroof, but the opening is not too large up in here, so it really doesn't give you too much airflow. So if you do want the airflow, you might want to open that thing just a little bit. And it has our wind deflector in the front, but I'm gonna keep it closed for the sake of this video. And while you're driving, you can adjust the ride height. It's gonna be these two buttons here, go lower and higher. When it's in the lowest setting, that's only for entry and exit of the vehicle. So once you start driving, it's gonna raise it up to the second lowest setting. And I assume the highest setting is in off-road mode. So once you reach a certain speed, it'll lower it again. So you really have like 2 levels that you can drive in, unless they let you drive in the off-road mode. That's something I don't care to do right now. Comfort mode, these bumps up here. Soaks it in, it's floaty like a boat. It's what Cadillacs of yesterday used to be like, floating like a boat. And that's what the Escalade has evolved into, like the Cadillac Brohams, as I used to call it. But yeah, I know it's a Bro, but Broham sounds better. That's what the Escalade would be. And I think some of those older Cadillacs are still longer than these Escalades, even the ESV form. And this isn't even that one, so you can get an even longer Escalade.
Object on road reported ahead.
I did notice the brakes in here to be a little bit squishy. I assume that'll be fixed if you want an Escalade V. Make an Escalade for everybody. Rocking and rolling. So we're gonna dial it up to, oh, it's only a sport mode and tour mode. I thought it was a track mode. You gotta get an Escalade V for that, folks. So this is gonna tighten up the suspension, the steering, and make the exhaust louder. And once you floor it, there's the V8 up under there. So it is gonna hear, you're gonna hear something. It's not as rowdy as the Escalade V. That thing does all the pops and cackling. This is a more classy version of the Escalade. The Platinum trim is gonna be your everyday driver, just a nice, quiet experience, just to blend in just a little bit. Got these paddle shifters here. What are those about? Not sure what these paddle shifters do here, but it's not shifting gears for me. Thought I'd be able to roll through some gears, but I can't. And if you heard a little bit of noise in the back, got this giant bag that my kid left in here. But we do have a banging sound system up in here. Let me not say banging, because that sounds like Bang & Olufsen. We have an AKG sound system up in here with 36 speakers. You can option this up to 40 speakers if you get the rear entertainment system in here. But it sounds very nice. Now, I like GM what they did with the AKG system. I have one of my CT4V Blackwing, and it gets loud, and it's still clear, and it has bass. Right up my alley. I like that. So the fidelity of it is amazing. You also have all of these different drive modes in here. You can change up the screen here. You can have it on your gauges, Google Maps, Apple CarPlay. You can even do a night vision in here, or an AR camera. What is even that? Oh, just a camera, augmented reality, I assume. So that's we'll see what it shows up in front of us if we happen to see a pedestrian. Didn't even think to use that. See a squirrel in the road. That thing about to be toast. I finally got on out. Didn't show up on the camera. I guess it's only for people. We probably won't see any people. Normally somebody's standing right there, but I guess they took the day off. So we can put our Apple CarPlay screen over here, which makes it huge. And let's just see what Google Maps shows for shins and giggles. Same thing, but just Google Maps. Alright, now we're going to take it on the highway. It has all-wheel drive, the torque to move. Oh, there goes somebody right there. Let me see if I can get them on the AR camera. No, I don't know what that will do then in regular driving. Maybe it wasn't on long enough. 10-speed auto is going to get up and move. And the best part about it, which I actually forgot to I was about to forget to speak on it, is Super Cruise. Let us demonstrate that. How did this Durango get out the way? All we do is touch one button. It's going to keep us at that speed. Once it turns green, we're golden. It'll drive for us. It'll get over if traffic is slow. Slow down, speed up. Let's see if we can make it get over. Let me flick the turn signal. It's looking for an opening. Slowing down a little bit. Don't gotta have your hands on the steering wheel. Change the lane for us. Even showed our Escalade in the lane. And then let's see what it does on here. It's got the dotted line. It's got the straight line. It's gonna handle it for us. And this is the best system that I have tested as far as driving autonomy goes. It's just a hands-free experience. And GM really did their thing with this one right here. And I just turned it off. It's letting me know that people are stopping ahead of me. So that's a great indicator because they got this huge LED on the steering wheel. I do not beat behind this. I don't like being behind that Durango. But yeah, it makes it easy to drive and pay attention. Definitely pay attention. Even though it will drive you, you have to pay attention. It's not meant for all that foolishness of not paying attention. Still got to be a responsible driver, folks. And I'm going to put this back to my preferred, my drive mode, not off-road or towing and hauling. There's my settings right there. Still got torque to go. Take it around this bend. Stuff still rolling around back there. Like a small apartment up in here. How I handle the curves. Actually, it's not bad to be a truck of this gargantuan size. And I'm flooring it. Thought it would get up to speed even quicker. But let us turn our Super Cruise back on. Whatever speed you're going, it's going to set that speed in which you press the Super Cruise button. That's going to be your automated speed. Now let's see what it's going to do up here. Let me increase my speed for demonstrative purposes. Let's see, are we going to go around these slower people? See what it's going to do on these solid lines. So will it pass when we have solid lines? It is slowing down as the person in front of this Focus is slowing down and nobody's in front of them. It's going to get over. That is slick. Y'all saw that. It got over when the lines weren't solid. Why are they getting over? All right. Sometimes, like the homie Jesus, you got to take the wheel. And when the LED is blue, that means that it will hold the line, but it's not ready for you to take your hands off the steering wheel. This is a great working system. I didn't expect it to not lane change as we were in the solid lines, but I told y'all, GM engineers, they do some great things, and they get unwanted hate or unwarranted hate, but they have some of the best engineers in the world. Ask me how I know. Actually, don't ask me how I know. But that's going to wrap up the driving portion of the 2025 Escalade Platinum Edition. So hopefully you all enjoyed this. A little piece of the Motor City wrapped up in the luxury vehicle. It's got everything we had to offer from Detroit and from an American OEM automaker. Because I think this is probably the most impressive vehicle, or the vehicle, when we got to show off all of what we had to offer as far as tech goes. The Escalade is going to be the one out of the big three. And tunnel. Keep forgetting to let the window down for that part. But yeah, the Escalade scoots. Once it's rolling, like that engine don't push you, but my God, that Escalade V, that will fill the gap between the, I'm not going to say it's underwhelming, but yeah, this, I would like a little bit more power in here, even though this is the base model. In the EV, I think it has even more horsepower than the Escalade V, which is crazy. Y'all didn't watch that video like that, so I don't know why y'all hate EVs, but I'm gonna still show them, because if I think it's a vehicle worth highlighting, then I will. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this one and the Escalade IQ video. Don't forget to drive safe. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Okay, thanks, bye.